Hi, everyone. Whoa, where have we been? It's a new year, right?
Yes,
Here we all are at your best you. Come on in. I'm Reverend Dr. Kat.
And I'm Joan Kaczmarzyk. Welcome.
You know, gosh, it's a Sunday afternoon here and we're expecting a big storm. So I was out kind of getting some things ready and preparing for whatever I need to get ready before I did the show.
And it's full moon eve.
Yeah, it's full moon. Cancer. It's in Cancer. It's pretty powerful. And Mercury's retrograde for those of you who are interested in that material. You know, I've talked about it more from kind of scientific theory perspective, from the astrological and from the astrology, and how in times of past it truly did form us. And we were very much in touch with what was going on with the planets because it gave us information. Ruby's back in here. He's hiding, see? Oh, he peeked out. Ooh! He likes this blanket. And Crystal, she's outside, so she may come up in the Chakra 6, but we're on Chakra 5. And I thought it would be an interesting time to basically recap a little bit. Because we did Chakra 1. And you know that's red.
Yes.
And it's about what?
It's about, that was our base boots and pups.
Right,
So
Pups and Boots. So you can go to Pups and Boots and check out Pups and
Right.
Boots.
So that was your ground, your grounding chakra.
And do you think there's a reason why I constantly go Chakra 1 through 7?
Why?
Yeah, why do you think I do that? I didn't prep.
No, she didn't know.
Why do you think I go from 1 to 7?
Because it comes up the body, and you like the consistency. You like to keep it going up, so that as you go up the chakras, it goes from a base to spiritual.
Yep, that's a good response. I mean, you know, there's no real correct answer why anyone would start from 1 to 7, but I think what I'm wanting to emphasize is that, as Joan said, you start there because it's the foundation, Kat. Yes. And whenever you build a building or you build anything, you start from the foundation.
And you have to have a strong foundation.
Exactly. So that's why I start there, because inevitably, if I'm talking about what is today, Chakra 5, and your Chakra 1 is weak, how's Chakra 2 going to be?
Not too strong either.
And then how's 3 going to be?
Exactly. By the time you get up to 5, you're on shaky
basically
ground.
a tower about ready to fall.
Collapse. Yeah.
Okay. So it is really important to start at the bottom and work up, because what you are able to do is build a solid foundation, and it's always adjusting a foundation. You may have to put a little bit more cement in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you may find that one got blocked or got triggered, or some kind of instance what you thought was healed may have shown itself up again. So that's okay. You go back and you work Chakra 1. And by being able to be aware of that whole spectrum, you're not just focusing on one part. You know, some people are so up in their head in meditation that they're no earthly good. And some people are so focused on their earth and their material success that when it comes to making matters of the heart decisions, they can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's this...
They haven't got it in them.
Well, it is in everybody.
Everything
is in all of
them,
us.
but it's not developed enough. They're not in tune with it.
How many people do you think are in tune with their chakras?
Not a lot.
Well, that's not,
But no, I'm not. I mean, as tuned in as you are, very few.
Well, no, I wasn't doing a comparative study.
No, but I think that a lot of people don't even know a lot about the chakras.
I think you're talking about the generation from whence we came, but
Right.
I would disagree. I think a lot of people are very familiar with the chakras. I think they've become very popular, and I think a lot of people are making money off of
Now,
Um,
yes.
having you, come to their places and get your chakras taken care of. And what I'm hoping here at Your Best You is you can come to Your Best You, which is on Nutmeg TV and also on the YouTube videos on demand. And I try to give you some tips and tricks that can help you so that you can be empowered to do a lot of these fixins
Yeah.
in your own home
Yeah.
by yourself. And with each step that you take, you go in a different direction. And they say it's never too late to start an exercise, okay? It's never too late to change your diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's never too late to learn something new.
Exactly.
So, and it's never too late to expand your consciousness. And when we're at chakra 5, we're at the throat. And it's our ability to really speak our truth. So think of it. If your first chakra is weak and you haven't healed that family, clan, tribe chakra, then your second chakra is going to be weak because that's your co-creative energies. Your empowerment and your sense of your will well, which we talked about in this season on episode
3.
No,
No.
I don't know what episode, maybe 41, but chakra 3. But yeah, that's your will well. So everything is lined up, connected. And when you strengthen one area, the other areas will become stronger as well. It's a practice, and what happens here on planet Earth is that we become this kind of torn, I think, between spirit and matter. And we're composed of both, but the world in which we live in really pulls us towards this concept of, materialism. And that's the world that we live in primarily. Here in America, it's a capitalistic society, which is a healthy society. I mean, I would think that we want people to be able to achieve and strive, and you don't really want to take the people who did all that and give everything to someone who didn't.
Right.
But we want to be considerate with our heart chakra of, always those that are less fortunate or for whatever reason they need help. So, it's a balancing act, and I see the whole organism of the human race as this giant kind of, as I've said before, collective entity. And so we're evolving as we go along. We're evolving so much so that now we have organic Reese's peanut butter cups. Not what I would recommend now, Okay. When I say organic, I'm inviting you to dismiss some of the processed foods and include in, while they still last here on planet Earth, some of the whole foods. I mean, the way we're moving towards a world where you're going to be out in space pods, eating some kind of pureed whatever, and those will be the working people.
Yeah.
Mining their uranium. And the very wealthy people will be back on Earth in the rainbows and waterfalls, dancing in the breeze. So I think that's the dichotomy we want to watch out for, and we've been foretold this since so long by so many writers and speakers before me. So I'm, it's just we haven't wanted to listen to it. Now everybody's, can you believe Soylent Green?
Yeah.
Can you believe the? But of course, it's this has been around, so we know who we are. Peter Sellers, a long time ago, and he was a young guy. I think he was in his 30s. I don't even know the name of the movie. I think it was called Me. It was a black and white movie, really powerful story. Just a small cast, but it was essentially, kind of the narcissistic, egomaniac growth of one person who just wanted everything to be me, you know. It's a really powerful movie. I don't think it was popular because it was so deeply impactful with the, yeah. But anyway.
I can't say, honestly, I can't say I've ever heard of it.
I like those old movies, you know.
Yeah, she does.
All right, so anyway.
She loves watching Turner Classics.
Well, yeah, I used to be able to get it, but I don't anymore, so I can't watch Turner Classics anymore. But I used to watch it.
She used to watch it all the time.
Now I watch Nutmeg TV, and we have classic shows too.
Yes,
so
that's very true.
Okay, so yeah, and when we think of the chakras, we definitely know that they are connected now. I don't think that any of my audience would say, "Oh, well, they don't operate together. The knee bone's connected to the hip bone, and the hip bone's connected to the, you know."
Right.
So as too with energy inside of us, they have a commercial now that's you are energy. No, you are electricity.
Yes, I saw that.
You're electricity.
You're electricity.
And they're selling a car, of
Yeah.
course. But you know, you know that whole concept of you two could be really cool and drive this car because you know you are one of the superpowers of the universe, but you are electricity. That's the thing.
That's the thing they don't realize.
You are electricity, and everything that we do has a vibrational frequency to it. So it's, you know, a husky at a door. Pardon me.
Yes. Speaking of electric.
Entree.
Hey, sweetie.
Yeah, she's coming in because we have the sub-degree temperatures, and I promised her that she and Ruby would be able to visit. So she knows I'm keeping my promise with her. Yeah, so the chakra 5, if it's well balanced, think about you have an idea, but it's got to come out, and it's going to come out through your
speech.
Through your speech, where you're writing. You know, that's your voice. That's your chakra 5. So it's very much a self-expressive. As I said, speak your truth. I guess this could talk about people pleaser kind of identities, where you say something. People pleasers are nice, they're not kind. There's a difference between nice and kind. Nice does something generally to get something. Kind does it just because they're kind.
Just because it's kind.
And a lot of times kind people get mistaken for fools.
Yeah.
But they're just generally kind people, and they do things just because they're kind. Not necessarily to get anything, but just because it's a kind thing to do. So that's a little bit different. So when you say what you think somebody else wants you to hear, you're not being yourself. You're not being your authentic.
Right. You're not speaking what
you're not being your authentic self.
Right. You're saying what someone else. Yeah. You're saying what someone else wants to hear.
When you say what somebody else wants to hear, you're not being yourself. So a lot of times what you find is that people, when they have a constricted fifth chakra, what happens is their voices may be very squeaky, or they can tell in the voice. You know, people talk differently, but that's related to the energy that's going through their body. So the voice gives up a lot of information. You can say, well, that's a very confident person, or that voice sounds a little shaky. Did you notice that? It doesn't really sound too sure of itself. And oftentimes a person will, I'm having to watch out because she's right up in here with me today. Oftentimes she said, you promised.
Well,
I sit up there
she has
too?
a very strong.
Yeah, but she's not over up on top of you.
No,
she's always on top of me.
But she's again the chakra we're talking about is about communication.
Yes. So
communication. And she can.
I just am protecting my crystal bowl,
Yes,
though, and
yes.
you know that's what I'm really worried about, and you know, don't want the crystal bowl to get affected.
Right.
But I brought the crystal bowl in because I wanted to play a little vocalization, and I asked Joan to bring her bowl. She's promised me that she's done some practicing,
I have been working.
and I'm not giving her my bowl. You're not going to be able to get up and move any of it,
I
so I
can't.
have
No,
to
I
move
can't.
it.
I
Joan
can't
is
move. No,
chair
it's
bound, you know.
If I get up, it's
In here, I have a
disruptive.
surprise for the next show, which is Chakra 6. And I'm going to be sharing a crystal bowl cleansing full moon bath. But Crystal was getting into the crystals.
Yes, she was.
I told
She's
Joan
like,
today
"What's
was going to be a
this bowl?"
relaxing show because it's very
It is.
challenging often. Thank you. I'm glad you are relaxed because it's very challenging oftentimes to address the fifth chakra. Because you'll hear a person say, you'll ask them a question and you'll hear them say, I'm telling you the truth. But they're not, you know, they're lying through their teeth. But I'm telling you the truth. You know, and it's like, that's a blocked fifth chakra. When a person, and you I'm sure you know people, constantly have to cover up and lie about what they're doing, that's a blocked fifth chakra. And you can be guaranteed that everything below it has got to be cleansed as well.
Would you like me to move that to the other side? I can do that for you. That bowl?
No, I'm
just
has
saying,
she forgotten we're on camera?
No,
I
no.
believe you.
I didn't forget she's on camera.
We're fine. Thanks, Joan, though,
Just
for your
being aware
assistance.
that that's.
I would really rather have this available for the viewers. Do we sound like Laurel and Hardy now?
Not exactly.
Sounds like that to me. So.
I don't know, Ali.
Yeah. What was the other one?
I don't remember.
Well, I didn't do it. You know, I didn't take the cookie, or whatever. You're hearing probably a lot of lies coming out right now. Is I guess the point that I'm trying to say. And the reason why I think that that's happening around us right now, just being fresh and relevant, you know me, Reverend Dr. Cat, I will be that, is because everybody's been masked up for almost how many, like, I don't even know.
Almost 2 years.
Okay, and now we're going to go in Connecticut and 95. I'm sorry, but you know, okay. Anyway, so what happens is, you know, when we're blocked, you know, there's going to have to be a healing after that. I guess that's the point that I'm helping you to see, that I'm sure a lot of things that you've wanted to say, you haven't been able to say. So when you're not able to speak your truth and you keep repressing that down, it starts to affect and infect your body. And if there are things that you have to say and you have to yell, honest to goodness, to open up that chakra, take a pillow and yell into it. You know, it's oftentimes, I hate to have to tell you to muffle it, but if you feel like you need to, muffle it. But quite honestly, the ideal way to open up your throat chakra is to open it up. And that involves vocalizations, or just allowing your body to let out the sound of what it needs to release. And people in our society are so unfamiliar with doing that. Then when they hear somebody make a sound like, oh, they're like, what's the matter? Well, I'm just releasing my frustration. If I keep holding it in, you're not going to have a healthy release like a, you're going to go to the person that maybe works under you or with you or beside you or someone you live with or someone you love, and you're going to go, okay, you see? So, beginning to own our vocal vibrational frequency and realize that we have to be in touch with it. first and foremost. And if you're not in touch with it, you can try to get in touch with it, and that would be the first step. And that would start at one, and building it up from the bottom. But if you are moving along with these and you've been watching me for a couple of years now, I'm sure you've been working on all of these chakras, because I believe you've probably said, that Reverend Dr. Kathleen knows what she's talking about.
Yep.
So,
There's something, she's telling us something interesting, something good. I think I want to try that.
And remember, I'm human too, so I'm going through the process and evolving and learning and growing and falling on my follies and being able to laugh at my follies. And what's the greatest folly? Love. Of course, love is the greatest folly, right?
Yeah.
Only a fool falls in love, right? Well, I guess I must be one, because I fell in love once and I seem to not be able to fall out of it.
Yeah, I know it.
So, but you don't get to really pick the person
Right.
you fall in love with. You can pick a person you want to say, I'm going to live with this person, but
But
that may not be the one you end up falling in love with.
exactly. It doesn't necessarily mean
so.
that.
But anyway, I brought in the bowl because aside from, as I said, releasing, which would be, you could do the mantras, Ram, Vam, Yam, Nam, Ham, Nom, you do the jam, and that tunes you. And those are the sounds for each one of the chakras. And you can do the music and start to even sing to music. Honestly, put your radio on when you're driving and sing. It will open up the chakra. That lasts. So you may find that this is a way that you can tune your fifth chakra. This is the singing bowl that's of the fourth chakra. It's the heart chakra. The sound that this bowl makes is your heart chakra. But they have, chakra bowls. I like the heart one because it's the center between the top three and the lower three, because it has 7, right?
And the sound of it is beautiful.
And so then, Joan, you brought your bowl, and you're going to play for everyone
I'm going to try.
something.
I can do. I have found that letting it sit on a pillow seems to make it easier.
So what kind of bowl did you bring, Joan?
This is a metal bowl. It was a present. Was made in Nepal, and it's fairly heavy. You can see it has a beautiful design in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it came with a little pillow that you can sit it on.
And how often do you use your?
Well, I just started using it more. That's why I brought it in the living room.
So that's a
that
new
I could-
2022 thing.
Yeah, so I played with it a few times. I'm not anywhere near as good as you are.
Oh yes, but I've been doing this since I was
But
in
you've
high
been great.
school.
So, so I'm still learning this, and we will. Let's give it to Dane. Come here, Lulu. There it is.
Yeah, you can hear it a little. If you slow down your pace the way and you cover more of the bowl surface with your
This?
with your instrument that you would. Well, I hope you can hear it. It is much fainter than the sound from the bigger bowl.
Yeah. But you can hear it.
It's a little bell in there.
It's a little bell.
I think Joan's having a fun time doing it.
You can.
So there's also something very tactile to the working with the crystal bowls. And for the younger audience as well, I'd like to encourage this because between the technology that we're always involved with and the world in which we live that's so technological, I'm noticing more of a nostalgic, beyond a nostalgic, actual application of saying, you know what, I really would rather do something that I can get my hands into and step away from the technology. And I think that's a really wonderful thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So the more that we can find activities that will involve a hands. They were talking the other day about drumming. Now, I really am a big believer of drumming. And if you go to my book Under Thunder Mountain on Kindle ebooks, you'll see that I actually have a drum circle event in the story for the character Marianne, because drumming is very much a healing vibratory frequency, and in addition to the fact that you've got your hands on with it. So, our awarenesses rise and fall, and we have times within our history where we're open to more of the esoteric and the natural ways of doing things, and there are other times when we shun that, and I think we're doing another circle back.
Right. I think people are
circling back to nature.
Yep.
The kids are out playing outside more. They're circling back to baking, the circling back. And again, that tide will turn, so grab what we can, because we're in the liminal zone. We're not in the ocean and we're not on the sand, we're in this space in between. And it's considered the most fertile area. So let us be wise enough to not be pulled by other theories and mindsets, because we've become in touch with our own understanding of who we are in the universe, in relationship to the divine, and in relationship to what we are to do with our hands, our matter, our minds. And I think that's going to do it for this show. So Chakra 5 on, vocalize, sing in the shower, and even dance a little bit. It's good for the soul, and it will help to have a strong, vital life. And when we're strong inside with that sense of who we are and we're confident, we actually do have a stronger immune system. We're healthier, we're wholer, we're more vital. And I'm not saying that it obliterates everything, for heaven's sakes. Again, the extremists, if that's your game, go there. But, I try to walk a fairly moderate path. I've gone off of it a couple of times, but, 'tis life, c'est la vie. Get yourself back on your path, re-navigate the waters, or whatever little cliched phrase.
The water's warm at Jaws Pond, and we're stocked full of treasures. Big or small, we buy it all. We buy and sell fast rides, power tools, vintage guitars, and so much more. Conveniently located on Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington and West Main Street in New Britain.